Some of the biggest ideas in economics often start with a simple story. So today, we're going to do just that. We'll dive into a fable about a lion, a turtle, and a broken bridge to unpack one of the most powerful tools out there for building a community: government spending.
Okay, so our story kicks off in a kingdom that, on the surface, looked perfect. A powerful lion ruled over this huge forest that was just teeming with life and abundance. But, as you know, even in the best of places, problems can be hiding right under your nose.
All right, let's set the scene. Chapter 1, The Lion's Forest. This is where we meet a kingdom that's really up against it, facing some tough challenges that are going to test everyone from the king right down to his council.
So what exactly was wrong? Well, the problems were pretty serious. The roads connecting everyone, totally broken. The streams they relied on for water, they were drying up. And if you were sick or a kid trying to learn, there was just nowhere to go. This wasn't just a minor hassle for a few animals. This was threatening the whole community.
Naturally, with all this going on, the Lion King could see his people were unhappy. So he did what any smart leader would do. He called together his council of the wisest animals in the whole forest to figure this out.
First up to speak was the dove. She was basically the voice of the people, bringing all their worries straight to the king. And she didn't sugarcoat it either. She laid it all out there. The paths, the water, the lack of care. The community was hurting, and everyone was looking to the king for a solution.
Then the beaver stepped forward. And you know beavers, right? The ultimate builders. He made this absolutely critical point. These aren't problems one animal can solve. No way. Building bridges, digging canals, setting up schools. He said this stuff requires a public effort, something everyone contributes to, for the good of all. Okay, so the council is on the same page. They've pinpointed the problem, and they agree it needs a collective solution. But it was the wise old turtle who's about to put a name to this whole idea, turning it into a really powerful economic lesson.
So the turtle, who's seen it all, steps up and gives their idea a name: government spending. She explained it in a really simple way. It's just the stuff a state, or, a forest kingdom, spends to build things for everyone and take care of the community's basic needs.
And then she showed them how economists write this down. It's a simple little formula. G equals G0. That G is just for government spending, and the little zero, that just means it's a specific, planned amount of money the council has decided to spend.
Now, this next part is the key to the whole thing. This spending, this G, isn't based on, say, how many berries they picked this season. Nope, it's an independent decision. It's all about what the community needs, what's in the public's best interest, not about how much money is flowing in and out of the forest on any given day. Now, how they actually pay for it, that's a whole other story. But the decision to spend, that's driven by need.
The other animals were really getting it. They're thinking, wow, that's a big idea, but what does it actually look like? And the turtle, being so wise, knew exactly what they were thinking and decided to sketch it out for them.
So what did she draw? A simple, straight, horizontal line. And why horizontal? Well, think about it. It shows that as the forest's total income, that's the line along the bottom, goes up or down, the level of spending, that G0, stays exactly the same. It's a steady, planned investment in their future, no matter what.
So let's break that little graph down really quick. The vertical axis, going up and down, that's the amount of government spending. The horizontal one, across the bottom, that's the whole forest's income. And that flat line, that's the kingdom's promise. A steady commitment to spend on these public projects, come what may.
Okay, so with this super clear lesson from the turtle, the path forward was suddenly crystal clear. The Lion King finally had a plan, a real framework to turn this idea into actual prosperity for everyone.
And the king? He didn't waste a second. He turned to the beaver and gave the order. And just like that, the abstract idea of G0 became real things. A new canal bringing in water, a strong bridge connecting the forest, a place for healing, and a school for the little ones. And the impact? Wow. It was immediate and it was huge. I mean, think about the before and after. Before, you had scarcity and isolation. Afterwards, you had connection and plenty for everyone. The water was flowing, travel was a breeze, the sick had a place to go, and the kids were learning. The entire forest was just better.
Every good fable has a moral at the end, right? And this one is actually a huge economic principle. It's the big lesson that the animals, and honestly, all of us, can take away from this.
So, the animals in the forest? They learned something that day they'd never forget. It's just like the turtle said.
When a community's wealth is used for the good of that whole community, it creates a kind of prosperity that actually lasts. It's not just about one animal getting rich, it's about lifting everyone up together. And really, that's the big takeaway from our little fable. It doesn't matter if we're talking about a forest kingdom or a modern country. Spending strategically on public goods, things like infrastructure, healthcare, education, it's not just a cost on a balance sheet, it's a foundational investment in a society's future, in its long-term health and success.
And all of this brings us to one final thought, a question for you. Just look around you. Think about the bridges you drive over, the public schools in your town, the parks you go to. How do you see the effects of this very old, very wise idea playing out in your world today?